What is up, guys? Destin Trainer here, back with another video for you guys here today. And before I get into this, I probably don't have to do this, but I felt like I have to do this. So I'm gonna apologize for if I offended anybody, like any kids, because this was in my video of why pretty much just think I forgot what the title was, but I know it was about like Sun and Moon. Oh yeah, why Sun and Moon? Like I have no motivation for it. I don't remember what the title of the video. Um. Oh no, yeah, I remember now. It's why Pokemon Sun and Moon is not the anime. Pokemon Sun and Moon anime is not Pokemon. That's what it was. Okay. So in that video, I talked about like um the target audience for Pokemon and everything. So I'm apologizing because if I offended you guys, because look, I have no problem with them having aspects to anime for kids. My problem has always been when they just target kids. So you guys took offense to me, because I'm not calling anyone out or singling anyone out. You guys, you guys deserve to watch this anime. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, okay? I'm not saying that there can't be aspects for kids to enjoy. I'm just saying not just it can't just be for you guys, for you guys, you know? So again, I apologize if I offended you for saying that, you know, I know when I make mistakes, you know, and I know you guys didn't say anything, but just in case, before you do, I like to apologize first. That's just, okay? So, but yeah, getting into this video. So the topic is going to be about, this is going to be a Pokemon discussion. And I want to talk about the characters. A little bit. Pretty much just how important the characters are in Pokemon. I mean, you can easily say that for other animes, characters are important. Yeah, that's true. But for Pokemon, since it's always been a more simple kind of plot, it's never really been. I mean, with the exception of X, Y, and Z, and maybe Sinnoh, Pokemon's never really had this complexity with its story because it's never really had multiple subplots. Kind of what I'm saying. Because XYZ had tons of subplots to go with the main plot. But yeah, we're going on. And I think this is probably going to be more key for Sun and Moon if it never really gets that main plot down. It's going to be important for that series. And what I want to talk about is about, as I look at all the characters throughout this franchise and how they've handled each and every character, I think what we've always been able to identify with in the Pokemon franchise is these characters. Because I really feel like that's what Pokemon's always been well known for. Because guys, this story has always been simple, you know, and even now we don't know what it is, but prior to Generation 7, it's always been get 8 badges. Uh, More particularly, Ash gets 8 badges, takes on multiple trainers who also get 8 badges and complete in the league. And if you win that league, you get a chance to challenge the Elite Four. And if you beat the Elite Four, you challenge the champion. You guys all know that. That's just basic Pokemon knowledge. So we look at each and every character and how they affected the story and stood out to us. Um, Whether we like every character or not, because we don't, in some way, each and every character in the series stood out in their own right. It may be harder for some characters like Misty, but I'm not getting into that. And it's easier for some other characters, but there's always something about you can at least see in each of these characters that's different and sets them apart from the others. And that to me is important for a franchise. You know, any kind of franchise, not just anime, TV, and, you know, everything. So, this importance that the characters had for Pokemon has always made the franchise better because to me, we look at all the character interactions we've gotten in Pokemon for these past 20 years. And we remember most of them. Most of the great ones, of course. And that is just really interesting in itself. And I hope that the characters will become more important in Sun and Moon because to me, I'm not sure where the story is going and what it's really going to be. So to me, the characters are going to have to drive this series. They gotta get better, they gotta get development, they gotta get interesting. And that's what. Here's the thing. And people need to understand that about this. Because sometimes when in a story, to be able to have a good story, it's more about what the characters do and what how they feel and how they express themselves. It's more about sometimes the characters have to drive the story, not the other way around with the plot driving the characters. And that's the thing that we want to understand. And I feel like sometimes series that were like that get a lot of flack and don't seem as good as the more plot driven series, when I think that's unfair because just because something is more character driven and more character focused, it doesn't make it any worse than the plot focused. So, and that's important. So again, for Sun and Moon, I believe that's what it's gonna need to do, unless they can, because right now there's no confirmed goal for Ash. There's nothing, no confirmed real plot unless we figure that out. But if they're never gonna figure that out, the characters, because right now this series is just a bunch of filler. And to me, if you're gonna go in that direction, you gotta make the characters more interesting. You gotta give them that purpose. You gotta just give us a reason to care about them. And show that they care about each other as well. Because that's another thing they really dropped the ball on. We don't really know why these characters are together, why they're friends. Like, it seems like they are just classmates, like what they've intended to make it look like. And I don't want that to happen. And that's what I've always had a problem with school setting things. School setting kind of series. Because unless they can make the classmates more than just classmates, those kind of series fail horribly. They never ever get over the hump and never really push forward. So, and I've seen some shows that have made the school thing work. But the way in Pokemon, like I said before, it doesn't work. Because again, Pokemon's actually more about friends. You can't just classmates doesn't fit the mold with Pokemon. It does it doesn't benefit, you know, because it's not about uh, one person, you know. And we saw that previous generation that how it was about multiple characters, everyone really had a role. You think about it, you really think about it, especially in the Team Fur arc of X, Y, and Z, that everyone kinda had a hand. It wasn't just really Ash. In fact, Ash didn't even do the most in that arc. So, and that's what really was beautiful about that series, is that we had everyone just matter. It they couldn't do anything without the others, and that's important. So that's what I want for Sun and Moon, that we can see that, hey, this character's not going to be successful without this character's advice, or this character's not going to be successful without this character's hand. Like, say Ash is trying to win a battle, right? A, and maybe he gets some advice for somebody else, and that's kind of the kind of thing I want to see, is that, hey, that these characters finally have chemistry, and they finally show out who they are and become the interesting characters I know they can be, because there's still a lot of time in the series left. So, and if I compare this to what we've seen in the past, Pokemon's always really been great at that. I mean, think about it. Like, the original series, when Ash was just a noob and everything, you had Mr. and Brock who gave him key advice, and they taught him a lot. And that's the kind of thing that we have been known and can recognize more. Because with the first two generations, Ash was doing the learning, then you had Hoenn and him starting to do some of the teaching, and then Sinnoh really took it up a notch with him teaching, and then it dropped with Black and White, but then it picked up again with XYZ further from Sinnoh with him doing the teaching. So, what is going to happen in Generation 7 to show this kind of character importance? That's to be seen. But yeah, I really wanted to do this video and really talk about this, because I think it's always been the most important thing for Pokemon, because again, this story has always been simple. It's never really been very complex, you know? So, tell me what you guys think about this. I think it's very cool, you know? And it's something to really be said and understand about Pokemon as a franchise, and where it's going and where it wants to go in the future. So, I'm all hoping it's going to be a great future. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Like, comment, subscribe, click on the bell notification to get every video I make. Tell your friends, tell your family about me, spread the word. I do great Pokemon content for you guys. I promise you, you will not be bored watching this channel. And have a great day, guys. I'm Destin Trainer now, signing off. Peace!